Now I need you to hold this. All right. Many of you guys know the NFL team, the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers is a historically great team, historically a playoff contender that sometimes will make it to the Super Bowl. But this year, we're having a rough start. This year, we are really struggling, and many people say that it's because our lack of wide receivers. You see, last year we traded away our wide receiver one, the best wide receiver in the league, Davante Adams. And this year, people say that without him, we only have wide receivers that should be wide receiver 2 or 3s and aren't able to lead this team for Aaron Rodgers to throw to. So, also, many of you guys know that Tuesday, November 1st, this last Tuesday, was the end of the trade deadline for the NFL. And that day, many NFL teams were looking to trade for a wide receiver. And as a Packers fan, as a partial Packers owner even, I was really hoping that our team would trade for a wide receiver or make moves, but they didn't. And in the end, as the trade deadline ended at 4 o'clock, they did not make any moves, and we have our same team. And so, many Packers fans everywhere are wondering, was that a good move by the Packers? Is it better that they just keep their team and try to build up? Or should they have gone after a wide receiver and try to rebuild their record, because it is not doing great right now? So today in this speech, we're going to go through both sides of whether you guys think, or of the two options, whether it's a good idea or a bad idea. All right, so we're going to start with why was this a good idea? Well, number one, we have wide receivers Randall Cobb and Allen Lazard coming back soon. Right now they are hurt, and so that's been the last few games. That's the reason sort of why we've been losing some, because we don't have any great wide receivers to pass to. These aren't amazing wide receivers, but they both have years of experience behind them, and they're both good wide receivers that can sort of fill that wide receiver 1 or 2 position. And Randall Cobb and both Allen Lazard, they're coming back in a few weeks, so it could be a great option rather than spending a bunch of money and trade options to just go with them. So 2, we still have the opportunity to sign Odell Beckham Jr. Odell is a free agent, so we wouldn't be trading for him, but since the trade deadline is over, we can still sign him, which would be great because it would give us a better wide receiver option. He's better than any of our receivers we have right now. And it wouldn't be as much that we give up instead of trading. And the third reason why it was better that the Packers didn't trade before the deadline was that we have promise in our young receivers like Romeo Doubs and Samori Toure. There's a quote from an article by Matt Schneidman with The Athletic that he posted on November 2nd that says, there were slivers of hope last Sunday. Doubs made an unbelievable touchdown catch after confronting his body, and Rodgers said that the 4th round pick is very talented when he is confident in making catches. Toure also caught his first career touchdown after a nifty mid-route adjustment, and his practices have been very impressive. So, both of these young receivers have talent and have promise. Not enough to be the complete leaders of this team, but as the season goes on, there is hope that they would be able to continue to get better and better and hopefully turn our record around. So, on the other hand though, some people think that reasons why it was not a good idea for the Packers to trade, for the Packers not to trade, was that first, we can't keep pounding with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Those are our 2 running backs that you guys can see right here. They're both big guys, great running backs. But last game and other games before that, we would only run them because we didn't have a great pass game. And so we keep running them. But defenses are starting to figure them out more. And they're starting just to put their whole defense around our run game so that we have to use our pass game, which is harder when we don't have any great wide receivers. And our line is letting people through, so not giving Rodgers a bunch of time. Also, we have almost no other options now to trade for or to sign, and OBJ really our only option is pretty risky because a lot of the teams that he was at, like the Rams and the Cleveland Browns and even the New York Giants, he was not the Rams, but the Cleveland Browns, he was traded away from, and the Giants because he's not great with team chemistry. He doesn't work well with other people, and even though he's a great receiver, he just doesn't mesh well with teams. So he's a little bit risky, and so we should have taken a wide receiver that was more just like a better option that's not as risky as Odell. Also, without a solid wide receiver one, the Packers are limited in their options, and they don't have any people to pass to when the run is breaking down. Like, as I said before, when defenses start to collapse on the run, we have to throw it, but we have zero options now besides our hurt wide receivers or our young wide receivers. A quote from Sports Illustrated says this. It was published on November 1st. It says, with 8 games in the books, the Packers are 26th in scoring with 18.1 points per game, and a woeful 26th in yards per passing play with 6.14 yards. So we really have not been great in our offense. We don't have many weapons to attack. We're not great in scoring per game or in passing per yards, which with the MVP last year, the quarterback Aaron Rodgers, who's a great quarterback, he should be doing better, but we have zero time because of our linemen who's letting people through, and because defenses are just adjusting to cover that run better. We don't have anyone to pass for. So those are the two sides. That's why some think that it's better that we didn't trade for a wide receiver, yet some think that we should have traded for a wide receiver. And that's the two different sides. So now I'm going to open it up to you guys. I have 3 questions for you guys. And the first question, you guys just give your input. The first question is, do you think the better option now is to take a different free agent or to just stay with our team as is? And so Carson, I can take this from you. So what do you guys think?
I think Odell Beckham Jr. should be added to the Packers because he's had a really good career. Although he's had some issues on and off the field with other players and community around him, I still think he would be a good addition to the Packers because he could bring some more energy to the team, and this could lead to more scoring in the games, and would just benefit the program as a whole.
That's great input, and I really get where you're coming from. I think he could do a great job with adding to the team, adding to our weapons and other stuff. So would you guys have any other thoughts?
Ryan, I disagree with that because I feel like he's not a great influence on the rest of the team. You know, like you already said, that he doesn't work well with other people. Also, although we're not trading for him, he is going to cost a lot as a free agent. So that's why I disagree with you.
Yeah, that's also good input. I think that both sides of that option works well. I think that although he is a little expensive, he could also work very well with our team and provide more weapons. So the second question is, what other wide receivers would have been best for players to take? So do you guys have any input?
I got something. So I think they could have gone with more of an approach of Chase Claypool or Brandon Cooks. They're like the young core that the Packers need just for someone for Aaron Rodgers to pass to.
Yeah, that's great input. I think Brandon Cooks especially has a lot of promise and would mesh very well with the team. So anybody else?
I agree with that because they're all good wide receivers and a big, great wide receiver one options.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. Third question is, do you think that the Packers can turn the season around without any wide receiver? So
I have something. So last year, Aaron Rodgers was the MVP, so I think that there's extreme potential to turn the season around, and I think Packers overall are a great team and have good bondage, so I think we could definitely turn it around.
Yeah, that's fair. Great input. So I think that every option that you guys have put, here, I'll give this back to you actually. Every input that you guys have given is understandable as well. I think that Rodgers can have the possibility of turning the season around with just the core that he has, but I also think, as you said, Ryan, Odell would have some great promise. So yeah, to finish off, the Packers have been a great generational team, a team with the most wins ever in history. But this year, they are falling back. They're falling behind. And now only time can tell the way that this superpower will finish off in the league and how a wide receiver or a lack of a wide receiver will affect the rest of the season. So, thank you. Now you guys applaud.
Let's go!